and he did it perfect. He went out there and threw a head kick. You know, like he knocked down the striker, and then he went straight to the ninja choke.
I know. They were like, it's a guillotine. I'm like, no, that's Hayden Breyer's ninja choke.
No,
That's
I know. I always say that. I'm like,
What's up? This is Gardy with Clear Life Combat. I have Hayden Breyers here in studio. We're gonna get into this and we're gonna have some fun. What's up, Hayden? How you doing, man?
nothing much. I
You doing pretty good?
Yeah, I trained late last night, so I'm just still trying to wake up.
Yeah, I feel you. I remember we did an interview once before.
Yeah,
And
I was
Josh-
thinking about that on the way up here.
Yeah, and I think, was that your first interview?
Yeah, I was all nervous and like real quiet, just kind of sitting there, just letting Josh talk for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot's happened since then. I mean, you've had a lot of fights,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff. What you been up to?
Nothing, just fighting. I had my last fight March, I think it was 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
9th. No, I think it was March 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, went and fought for Melee, got a finish, got their belt, and that's it.
Yeah. You and one of your teammates went up there and kind of just handled business.
Yeah, John Kinsey. That was fun, dude. I like fighting. I've only fought out of town one other time. It was my first fight. And I actually fought, so the guy who matched us up is RJ, and he trains out of the Iron Forge gym. And I fought one of his guys for my debut, and I fought him in wherever A&M's at, you know.
College Station. Yeah.
College Station. And then my sister goes to Texas State, and I always get them confused. But I fought one of his guys, and it's just funny, this last one, I fought like for him or whatever and out of town, and I like fighting out of town so much more. It's like easier to get into that mode of like fighting versus when you're home, you know, like when you go weigh in for Fury and then you come home and you're just sitting like, all right, I'm fighting tomorrow. It's not the same. Like your body doesn't feel like you're fighting the next day.
Right. You know, I think fighting out of town, one of the things, the first thing that came to my mind is a lot of not that it's a stress because there is a lot of support, but
Yeah.
the responsibility of like, man, I got to sell tickets, I got to train, I got to promote. You know, if you go into a place, then that's at least like one thing you maybe don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my tickets are easy because my mom does all of them. So like I have like that blessing, like it's so easy. I didn't sell a lot of tickets for this fight just because like my last fight I was coming off a loss to that Dylan kid, and shit was not a loss, but so I was more worried just about finishing this dude and just kind of like, you know, erasing that almost. So I wasn't worried about selling tickets. My next one I'm definitely gonna try to sell more tickets and like promote it a little more. This one I literally just wanted to go and like have a good fight.
Yeah. Get this next one.
Yeah, so, but other than that, I honestly liked it so much more. Like, I liked traveling. I liked having all my stuff. It just helped me get in the mindset of, like, and especially if you're a pro and you go to the UFC and stuff, like, you're gonna travel to go fight, so you might as well get used to it and learn to like it.
Yeah. That fight, it was streamed on Twitch.
Yeah.
Which was different.
Yeah, it was different, but, like, in my head, I didn't know how it was gonna turn out because I don't watch all that stuff. You know, I'll watch YouTube here and there, but, like, I'm not, like, I don't play games. I'm not on my phone. But it being on Twitch, it was like a totally different audience, and it wasn't like I said, that Fight Pass stuff where it's like, oh, we're on Fight Pass for all these promotions, we'll kind of brag. I'm like, dude, there's like 80 people watching, and half of it's like your family. Like there was actually, I think there's like 100,000 people watching live.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like real exposure.
What's crazy is that there's people out there who would be fight fans, but they just haven't seen a fight. And I was one of those people. I was like at a Buffalo Wild Wings one time, like randomly on a fight night, and I was like, man, that stuff is lame. And then started watching and found myself like, this is crazy. It's like gladiators going into the Coliseum, battling. And that's the first time it piqued my interest, you know, like maybe like 15 years ago or so on accident. So I could see Twitch doing that same thing. These people don't even realize, and they're like, wow, this is cool. Turning new people on.
Yeah, no, I feel like it did. Like, dude, I think I gained like nearly 100 followers. I think I gained like 90 something, like 90 followers, which isn't a lot, you know what I mean? But for having an amateur fight that lasted 4 or 5 minutes, like, you know, that's kind of cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's like a new fan base, because people who are on Fight Pass or who are watching like the promotion stream, like they're already fans of it, or they have someone they like fighting. Like these people, like they're a fan of the guy who's streaming it, which was the Mizkifs dude. and they're a fan of him, so they're just getting exposed to something new, and some of them might start watching like pretty consistently after that.
Yeah.
There's 100,000 of them, I'm sure. And I think since then, I think the stream has gotten like 400,000 or 500,000 views. They like posted the YouTube link or something like that, so
Yeah.
it's cool.
That's awesome. Going into there and fighting for the title, I mean, did you look up the guy that you were fighting, or following
Yeah,
his fights, or what?
yeah. It was kind of so he was a I don't want to say wrestler. I want to say like grappler. You know what I mean? Like we knew he was gonna shoot. Like I threw that knee like 2 or 3 times before, like forcing it too much, and then I don't know. I was kind of like tired going into the fight. Like I was like yawning coming out and stuff. So he threw this little flurry. I shot a single, took him down. He reversed me because I made some like I had like an instep or something where he just kicked out the cage, and then after I felt him moving on top, I could feel like he didn't really have anything. I could feel him using all his muscles, like he was gonna gas.
Yeah.
So I let him just do that, and I literally told Josh on the stool, I was like, my phone's vibrating. It's kind of messing with my head. I told Josh on the stool, I was like, he's got nothing for me this round. Like, it's done this round. Like, I literally called it, and then I went and touched his leg a couple times because, dude, I'm so long. Like, he can't really reach me, you know what I mean? So I'm just touching him, and then literally I step in, I throw that lead knee right to the body, and it was just, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
If you watch, like, I literally walked, like, I wasn't impressed. Like, it's just something we knew was going to happen eventually, so.
Yeah, and you've gone up against wrestlers. You've had some good
Yeah.
matchups with wrestlers.
It was kind of similar to when I fought Micah, when I did the
Mhm.
podcast with you, and then I was fighting Micah for that one. It was literally a similar look. This guy was just like bigger.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Micah, he made his pro debut, didn't he? I
Yeah,
think he did.
yeah.
Yeah, he got the win.
Yeah, he looks good now. I think he's real good. So hopefully he takes his, because he's still young. So take his time and just get wins and just be smart, and he'll do good.
Yeah. What would you say? You've had these fights with these wrestlers. You've done pretty good. You've gone against strikers. What part of your game, or how would you describe your fighting style? And I guess like what are you focusing on right now in training?
I try to be well rounded. I try to do everything just the correct way, because uh especially like me going to Colorado kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I went and trained at that high altitude gym that a lot of UFC guys train out of, and I went with this one dude. And I had already thought like this before, but this kind of helped. I trained with this one dude, and he shot on me like 3 times. I think he's from Kazakhstan or something. Maybe something
Yeah.
that sounded like Kazakhstan. But he shot on me like 2 or 3 times, and I stuffed it. And he's a 25er, you know what I mean? He's a little smaller than me. And I stuffed it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping up with this guy. Like he's from I shot on him, and he like ragdolled me, and I was like, it's just crazy though, because it's like I need to get to where like I can do that. I can keep it on the feet, but if I choose to shoot, like that shouldn't happen to me. Like you got to be good everywhere. And a lot of guys, they get too fascinated on being a certain way when they fight or looking a certain way. It's like, dude, you just got to be good at everything, because if you fight a wrestler, you got to keep it on. You don't got to keep it on the feet. Obviously, you got to be able to wrestle with them. But you got to keep people where they're uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody's not the best at wrestling, it doesn't mean you can't strike with them. It's just, but shoot a couple times. Get them thinking about other stuff. Like, you always got to take people everywhere. And then, especially the cardio, too. People don't realize, like, how exhausting it is to wrestle, come back to striking. Wrestle, come back to striking. You know what I mean? If we could wrestle all day, and you probably won't get tired if you're in shape. Or you can strike all day, and you won't get tired. But you start mixing them, that's where it gets hard. So I just try to do everything. I just joined that Peak too that you train at, and I think especially down here, there's no gyms down here. I was telling him last night, like, there's no gyms down here. So to have that and have a black belt like that down here that you can train under is like, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Satava, under Marcelo Garcia. But Jonathan, one of his strong points is butterfly, and I feel like that getting butterfly hooks and getting back up, in MMA, I mean, that's pretty beneficial, I would say.
Yeah, and it's just we have all the tools down here now. Like we have him, we have Joel, we have Josh Altum. Like we have all the tools down here. So like, I still go to war. I still go. I haven't been too often just because I just got out of camp and stuff, and I'm still training. But it's like we have all the tools down here now. Like we're starting to we have this now. We have you guys like kind of helping build everything, and it's like everything like. Everything used to be like North Houston, I feel like, but now it's kind of growing down here where it's making it easier to like stay down here and train.
You know what we need? we need a venue, like a venue down here. And I love Galveston sometimes. Like
Yeah.
LT Gray will do some stuff down there. Fury went and did a show down there in Galveston that Josh headlined and sold the mess out of it, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I love Galveston, but even from League City, where I live,
Yeah,
it's
still like
a little
30,
it's a
40
little
minutes
it
sometimes.
is
If there's
yeah
traffic, 40. Yeah.
yeah. But even like Clear Lake, some League City, if there's land or something, it'd be awesome to have a venue on this part
Yeah,
of the
we've
city.
actually talked about that with Joel and my dad, because my dad's all about business and
Mhm.
trying to make money and shit. So we've talked about that, like building like a kind of like a metal warehouse kind of building, and then literally making it for fights and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
something we think that we could do. The only thing is, my dad would want like kind of me and Joel to kind of like run it and take
Right.
over it. So it'd be like it'd be a lot, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Right.
It's just
You could fit 1,000 people, or even maybe a little bit more or less, or have it to where it's sectioned off. And
yeah, or like some bleachers.
Yeah.
I went to that when I fought that Muay Thai fight at that
Red
Renault
Owl.
Arena. I was
Yeah.
like, that actually was like,
stacked.
yeah, it was legit. I was like, I didn't expect it to be. I thought we were fighting like a gym. Like I walked in, I was
Yeah.
like, oh damn, this looks like really like real.
Yeah, the lights and the screens, but they did it up really really nice
Yeah, no,
in there,
I liked it.
and it's made for fights.
Yeah,
So
so
that's cool.
something we've talked about already and just thought about doing. So
Yeah, that's what we need on this side. And so then these guys coming out of Galveston County, and these guys over there, with Joel, but gives an advantage of, it's on this side of town. We have everything. I can go check out the arena if I want to, walk around. That would just be nice.
yeah, we got
Yeah.
a lot of boxers down here too. I feel like we got more boxers than we got like a couple MMA fighters, but it's like a lot of boxers on this side of town. I feel like
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I agree. Cool. All right. So Hayden, what's next for you? When are you looking to get back in there? You're trying to fight again this year?
Yeah, I'll probably fight. So the next melee date is May 25th, I think. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but I did. But I think it's May 25th is what they're looking at. So I'd like to fight sooner than that, but it's all right. I'll have to start camp like in a week or two. But I'm not against fighting for anybody else either. It's just melee. It's like I'm already the champ there, so it's like I'm gonna be a guaranteed 5-round fight. There's no point to go back to 3-round fights. So if Fury's like, hey, you going? Like, I'd love to, but there's no point for me to fight a 3-round fight right now, especially about to go pro. We even thought about going pro for the next one. It's just I'm about to start, what's it called? Doing like my fire school stuff, trying to be a firefighter. So I'm gonna go in June, I believe, start my EMT certification. My girlfriend's doing it all for me right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Decided
Where are you
to-
going to go through?
Comm.
Through Comm? Yeah.
So I'm gonna do all that. It starts in June, so it'll give me time to just do one more amateur. Probably do one while I'm in school. I suck at school, so I just want to make sure I'm like focused on that. And as an amateur, like your record doesn't really matter. So I'd hate to go pro and be in school and trying to force it. So I
Right.
want to knock all that down or knock all that out, and shouldn't take more than a year or so. After that, then we'll go pro.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. We've had a lot of chances to go to these fire stations and work with them and see them, and it's a good group of guys. And honestly, there's a lot of them that train and grapple.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a lot of free time. That's why I
Yeah.
want to do it, because you make good enough money. You can pay for all your stuff. You can pay. I don't need a lot of stuff. I
Mhm.
just need a house or
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean. So
Right.
and I can still train full time. And worst case scenario, something like you're nothing's you can get in a car accident and lose your hand, and you're probably not gonna fight after that. So it's just like a good, and then you can always be a firefighter. You know what I
Mhm.
mean, and make good money. So it just makes sense, and it's a smart move to do now.
Yeah. I think it's I cross train at a couple places, but one of the gyms where I'm at, there's guys that are like in Tech City or in Galveston. Yeah, they just like drop in to gyms and
Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah,
do
it's cool.
jujitsu too. I think one of them who trains at Peak, I think he's one of the purple belts. I think he's a EMT or a medical or something. He
Right.
doesn't do the firefighting. I think he may have, he said, but he does something like with the medical side of it.
yeah.
And he says he works like, I think he works like 2 days a week or something, 3 days a week. It's like,
Yeah.
which is, I'm like, sounds
Yeah,
great.
this like funny shift sometimes, but it's like, hey, you got time
Yeah.
to do what you want to do.
And
Yeah.
then a lot of the times too, they're working out or they're hanging out. I mean, you still have to go and do stuff, but it's not like you're constantly like killing yourself or you're like
Right.
no energy for the week.
Yeah. You talked about your girlfriend, kind of helping and stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I see the videos, and she's like training with you, or y'all go somewhere and she's at the gym too, or holding mitts and stuff. How is it having that? Is she getting good, and does she plan to fight or spar or
Yeah,
do anything?
I don't want her to fight. I don't want her to fight at all. But she is getting good. The only thing is she's small, so it's like hard to find like training partners for her where she could spar. Like she spars you know, Caden.
Hmm.
She spars Caden a lot and stuff like that. You know, she's getting into all that, and yeah, she's getting good. Like we drilled yesterday, so we did like some grappling in the morning, and then after she drilled with me for like 45 minutes, like kickbox. So it's like she's an actual drill partner now. So I
Yeah.
use her because you'll see like a lot of girlfriends go to the gym and they want to like watch them. You know, they just want to watch and kind of like feel like they're part of it. And but like she actually wants to do it. It's like the difference with her. So it's real cool because she enjoys it too. It's not like she's just doing it because I want to do it. Like she actually wants to get in there and like do the stuff I'm doing. So it's actually like really cool. Like, and it makes it easy because it's like if we want to go do something fun, like we just go train because I like to
Yeah.
train, so it makes it easy
Yeah,
now.
you're out of town or go on a trip and like, hey, let's drop in somewhere. It's something
Yeah.
y'all both enjoy doing. That has to be nice.
Yeah, I want to try to get her into jujitsu, man. But you know, like when you first start jujitsu, especially being a girl, I feel like you want to only roll with girls, and then it's already hard to find girls that just train, or you know, or find girls at your size because there might be
Right.
2 girls in the gym and they're like 20 pounds bigger. You know, just
Right.
there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, I know at Peak, yeah, in League City, there's a good amount of girls, and a lot of them
Yeah,
are like either girlfriends or wives. There are some that just train, you know, but that are came in because their boyfriend or whatever
yeah, yeah.
trains there, which is kind of cool.
I know. I tried to get her to go. I need to find whenever I guess they have like the women training and stuff like that. Cause her thing, like you know, and the other thing is the sweat. I don't think she wants to do all that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
it
she'll
is.
probably
Yeah,
be
the
good.
more you talk about it, think about it, it is kind of gross.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly, it's gross.
Hey, Peak's awesome though, cause they got that they got the shower with all the defense soap and stuff. I don't know. I like them for that. That's badass.
Yeah, yeah, it works. Hey, how's Joel doing and Josh?
He's doing good. Josh's doing good. We all trained together yesterday. Um, man, everything's the same, man. They're just trying to get better and just trying to keep training. I think Joel's thinking about moving gyms soon.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get his own place somewhere in Texas City. So there's always that, and yeah, I think Josh is looking to fight soon too, and maybe June or July or something. It was May, but he has stuff right now, so June or July or something like that. So man, everything's normal. Like I feel like nothing's changed. We just like have had a couple more fights and
Right.
got better. Like nothing
Yeah.
feels different.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, sometimes when I drive around, like I see buildings and I think of that stuff, but I do think about Joel.
Yeah.
Like about like, oh, would that be a good spot for, you know, for a gym or anything like that? Because you just need space.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You
Yeah,
just need
and-
a little bit of space.
And the thing too is like even training with Joel, like there's a lot of guys that are like there's people that live in Galveston or they live in I don't know if it's Hitchcock, kind of between like Galveston and Texas City or Lamar, like whatever area. Like,
Yeah.
I know a couple MMA guys, like they drive all the way to Houston or North
Right.
Houston to go train. I'm like, dude, like we train right here. Like we got good guys. Like just come try it. You know, if you don't like it, like you don't have to train. But it's like you don't always have to go. Like you could like save half of your time if you just came and like stopped by. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
and then half the time, like if you already fight, like we're probably not even gonna charge you anything to come train. Like
Yeah, it's good for everybody,
you're
really.
helping us out. Like we're like
Mhm.
fighters, you know. It's not like we're running like some gym membership class. Like
Yeah.
we're literally just trying to like train, and it would all like be beneficial. But everyone's still stuck in this thing of like they got to go train at these big gyms and do all that. And I think you do. I think you need like your mix of training with guys who are like not well known. That doesn't matter. But like their skills, you know what I mean? Like good pros, and like you need that. But you know, like we're starting to get, like I said, we're starting to get that down here, and you know, if we could all like train together, I feel like we'd get better.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something when I went to Denver that they do real good, and not necessarily like that, but like they'll have like multiple teams come spar on the same day.
Yeah.
And it's a huge room. It's not like we can't go spar with this gym because we might fight them, or like they don't, you know what I mean? Like everyone's like, there's so many bodies and people are getting better because of that, and we don't do that down here.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
know, I'll go to the gym sometimes, and I got maybe one or two guys. Like all my main training partners are featherweights. You know what I mean? Like John Kinski, Josh Altum, Yusuf. Like they're all featherweight size, the 160, 170. You know, like I'm lucky if I go have another bantamweight to train with.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, is that a benefit because they're bigger and stronger, but maybe the quickness, or how does that work? I guess
Yeah, there's like pros and cons to it, and not too many cons, but like when I do go with bantamweight, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm so much stronger or whatever. Like, but I do feel like I'm like, oh, it's easier. Like my techniques work a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're like John Kinsey, like he's a super strong dude. So if I can like get a body lock and take him down. But the dude's gonna if I do, it's a lot of energy for me, and the dude's gonna pop right back up because he's strong. It's gonna be harder for me to hold him down. But if I do, I am able to hold him down for a period of time. It's like I earned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I go with a bantamweight, I'm like, oh, this is so much easier.
Yeah, you can take him down a true 145, or you can take these other guys down. Yeah.
So it works out, you know what I mean? And then I feel like too, I'm real technical. I try to be like real sharp with everything and not be like a real, I don't have the body to be a real strong dude. I'm like long and skinny, so it's like being able to go with those guys does help though, because when I go with people my size, it feels easier.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's no, I wouldn't say it's an advantage. It's just a good like mental thing for myself, knowing like they're gonna be lighter or not be as strong.
You ever think about going back down to 125?
I'll never go back to 125 in my life. Ever. I don't know how I did it, man. I made it like 2 or 3 times. I think 3 times. And I will never do that again. Everyone told me because, like, all the coaches and everything, like, oh, yeah, you weigh. Except Josh. Josh never told me to do it. Josh actually told me to gain weight and go up.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to him. I probably walked around. I was younger, so I probably walked around like 140, 142. And they're like, yeah, that's like 15, 20 pounds. Like, everyone cuts that. Yeah, but they're also like, there's no flyweights in the UFC who are like 5'9" or 5'10" for a reason. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll never do that again. The 35 cut, I use Kyle Todrank. He kind of showed me, Josh, and John, and everyone like his method that he uses to cut. And so making 35 like definitely sucks, but it's so easy. Like we're still having some carbs during the week, and just you're able to function so much better. So having him help out with that, like 35 is my weight class for sure. And I can get up there too. Right now I'm a little lighter because I just came off of camp and stuff, and I stay eating healthy, so I probably walk around probably like 53 right now, 52. But I've gotten up to like 58, 59. You know what I mean? So I can get up there, but I feel like it's just like a bunch of like bloat. Like
Right.
I feel like I eat like some Mexican food and just get a little heavier.
Yeah. It's been cool to watch everybody's career, but Kyle Todrank's career, and he's getting a lot of, big push and has been performing.
Yeah.
As well. So, it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, his last fight was really good too. And that J-Bob, he's a good striker, from what we've seen and stuff like that. And Kyle went out there. He's a performer. That's one thing Josh has even said. Like, he goes out there, like, he knows how to, like, make it happen.
Right.
Under any situation. So that's something that you can really, like, watch him and, like, take from him. Like, regardless, and he did it perfect. He went out there and threw a head kick. Like, he knocked down the striker, and then he went straight to the ninja choke.
I know. They were like, it's a guillotine. I'm like, no, that's Hayden Breyer's ninja choke.
No, I know. I always say that. It's crazy because I feel like before I hit that, nobody hit that.
Right.
I feel like I'm like kind of not started it, you know what I mean? But like on this scene, at least down here, nobody was hitting those until I started doing. I did it 2 times in a row, and then Jonathan Kinski did it in his debut for what was it, for Melee.
Yeah.
And ever since then, dude, I swear everyone's been hitting it. They need to start calling it the Hayden Breyer's choke.
You know what?
All the
I
commentators
agree.
from Fury are like ninja choke, and I'm like, dude, no one in Fury did it till I did it.
Yeah.
So
and this is me being just like, I guess not that good at grappling, but guillotines are like just like with the hand position, high elbow.
Yeah.
Jonathan the Peak has a great high elbow guillotine, and he's worked with me, and I'm like, hey, help me figure this out. But with the ninja choke, it just seems so natural and easy to lock up.
Yeah.
That it's like, it just makes sense.
And the thing is, too, like, they're really not hard to get out of. Like, everyone's like, oh, once they're locked, I'm like, no, like, dude. And maybe it's because me and John, and I'll say that John's better at them than me at getting them. Like, when we spar, he locks me up in them all the time. But And like I said, maybe it's just because he locks me up in them all the time, but they're not hard to get out of. Like you
Yeah.
got to make sure you're pushing on the hips and you're spinning, and you know they're not hard. Like I said, I've been putting them like a million times by
Yeah.
him though.
And
But
probably your teammates feel the same way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I haven't hit like a ninja choke on anyone in a very long time. I actually hit one last night.
Yeah.
I hit one last, but it's because I don't roll with that guy. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Me and John did some boxing sparring on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you know, Joel was like, you need to start doing this, or work. I'm like, dude, like, I know what you're saying, but it's hard because we train with each other all the time. Like, we're expecting certain things from each other, or we know he's gonna throw that. Like, we're blocking. Like, we throw 100 punches around. Like, I think we block like 95 of them. Like, we
Yeah.
just know, even with feints, like, we're just so used to training with each other that it's like, it's an advantage because we can pick it up on each other, but a disadvantage because like if you're not gonna like be able to work your full game. Your feints aren't gonna work the same because they're so used to it. You know, like I do this little
Right.
feint and that everyone bites on. Like he's not gonna bite on it because he's seen it 1,000 times. So the advantage part of it is though, if you do land something or a feint does work, like oh, it really worked because like we spar all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Catch them. Yeah, and y'all drill the same combos.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
everything.
that's
I'll
the
work the
hardest
same
part.
thing.
we'll literally sometimes we'll catch each other throwing like the same body shot at the same,
Yeah.
at the same time. We're like, that's how you know we train at the same gym at least.
Right. Yeah, and that's why it's like whenever you hit the move of the day or whatever it is, it's like, oh, it's a big deal. Oh, not the move because you know it's coming or
Yeah,
whatever, and
yeah.
it's like
That's
it
why I
really
like
works.
training at peak because they right now none of them are at peak, so I'm like I can take some stuff that I
Yep.
learned from there and take it back and try it. But I've been trying to get all of them to come down to peak because I'm like I said, we have Altum over there at Gator to kind of
Mhm.
teach us the grappling, but we don't have like so many bodies for everyone to roll with. So I'm like, dude, like come to peak. I'm like fucking the first class is free. Like
Yeah.
just come try it. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm like, they just need to come down or whatever, just kind of grow your skills. So, yeah, I kind of like had some brain fog just now and lost where I was at.
No, that's cool. Yeah, cross training. It's just important. Yeah, those different looks.
Yeah,
Just getting used to, I don't know, different body types, and they don't know what you're doing, and
yeah, it's
that.
different. And then a lot of it's just good for your mental too, like cross training, knowing that like I feel like the hardest thing about like competing whenever like I was like earlier into like starting and stuff is like you know you roll with somebody like maybe you just got your blue belt or something, you're rolling with somebody that you roll with all the time, and then you go do like a grappling match, and then like they're doing moves you haven't seen before, you know, so and that kind of throws you off. Like you know I didn't wrestle in high school or nothing, so you're kind of like you know in your head while you're competing or something and just doing dumb stuff. But the more you go train with other people and you realize like, oh, I can like adapt to all these styles, the better
Yeah.
you get. It's like when you go compete, it's the same thing that you see every day because you're used to training with so many people,
Yeah.
you know. So
You know, you talk about like the mental aspect. So this was not last week, but the week before for the first time, and I've been training. It's over 4 years since I first started, like walked into a gym, but I got put out for the first time, and it
Oh,
was ahead
really?
of and I had never been put out because I'm like I'm not afraid to tap. I'll tap.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I've got no ego. Like I'm having fun and trying to learn, right? And so it was a head and arm triangle, you know, and so they got to the side and I was trying to answer the telephone, and then I was trying to, and the last thing I remember was going for like my leg
literally, like,
to try and pull up and pull down, and then next thing you know it was
you
like,
just woke
hey
up.
dude, hey, are you okay? Like, hey. And it was just the first, yeah, it was the first time. And so it was a guy that as far as I know, I think it was his first time at the gym, like coming in. I was like, oh man, he was, like, I suck. Like that's what, and I dealt with that for probably about a week, like of what am I doing? Like I train all this time and like I
just
just
got
got
put out.
put out by a guy that and I had asked him before, I was like, how long you been training? He's like, oh, about 2 years. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, man. You know, whatever. And I'm like having fun with it. And I'm like, man, I've trained over 4 years.
Yeah, you're like,
I just got
damn.
put out by this guy. Like I had never trained. But then the next week, and I was like, okay, like, I trained with him again. And I was like, okay, I don't suck.
You're just trying to like kill him.
Not
Like,
necessarily trying to kill him, but just making sure that I don't suck. Like, like it was my first time to ever roll with this guy, and easily just like, and I thought my defense was working, all that stuff, but it was just like that mental thing
Yeah.
of like, I'm not even doing this in any major competition whatsoever. No plan to. I just enjoy it. It's fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that mental, it's a huge mental part of fighting, grappling, in life, and I was dealing with that. I didn't tell my wife, and then like it was just weird. And then I ended to I was like, hey, so something happened the other day, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know, I suck. Like,
Yeah.
why am I doing this? What
Yeah,
am I doing
it's
to
like
myself?
almost like your ego just kind of comes out a little bit. Like
Yeah,
sometimes, like I try to be like real, whatever. Like I've never got put out. You know what I mean? I know it probably doesn't feel good, but I've been close. Like I've been put in a triangle and tap late and like kind of like fall over, like whoa,
right.
and then come back. But I never gotten put out or whatever because I'll just tap.
Yeah, yeah,
But
me too. Me too. And it happens
but
so quick.
sometimes, yeah, the time I almost got put out though is it was tight, and I didn't realize how tight it was till they let go. It's like when they let go though, it's like
The
the blood
blood.
go, and then that's kind of what makes you like fall
Yeah.
over or get dizzy.
Because I didn't even have that where the triangle's tight and it's like, okay, things are going and you tap and then the blood comes back or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just one of those things. It literally came out of nowhere. And then I was like, is this what it's like to die? Like whenever I
Like to
came back,
die.
I was thinking about my kids and I was telling someone else about this and I was like, man, I came back and I thought I was dreaming. I was like, did I fall asleep in here? But I was thinking about my kid. There was like some weird stuff that was going on in my head. If I'd have wrote it down, I would have remembered exactly what I was thinking. But as you
Yeah, it's
get
like a
further
dream.
away, yeah, it was like a dream. And then it was just,
Yeah.
are you okay? Like my legs are being shaken. I'm like,
legs are straight up in
he's
the
like, I
air.
heard you like snoring. I was like, yeah, I was out. I
Yeah,
was out.
that's so crazy. I know that the two times I fought and I put my two guys out, it didn't even feel real. Like it just, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a weird feeling, you know what I mean? But it's just really not too crazy if you think about it though. It's just your blood, like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just like a natural thing that your body's gonna do.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you hold it, you could die, but you
Yeah.
know, hopefully,
Major brain damage.
yeah.
Those referees need to stay on top of it.
Yeah, I wonder how. And the thing is that those ninja chokes too. Those ninja chokes, dude, it takes 3 seconds to go out. Like literally,
Yeah.
like 3 seconds. Like that's how fast that one is. I don't know why that is, but those are like a lot tighter than any other choke.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mental part of it, I feel like you just gotta like. I don't. I've never really been too like butthurt after training. You know, the only time I've been like kind of like down about something is like I went into a session like, hey, like listen, like we have to have a good day today, or we have to do good today, and then like you don't do good that day, and you're like, damn, dude, like that sucks. But I try to just be, because you're not gonna learn if you like get too emotional about it or you care too much about winning. Like the winning is like for the
In
competitions or
training too. Yeah, yeah. In the training room.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like
winning that.
yeah, and like and obviously you have like competition roles where you're like, hey, like these 3 to 5 rounds are important to me, or like these are the ones I need. But like other than that, like I just try to like sometimes like especially like, if I'm rolling with somebody who maybe isn't like as skilled as me or something, like I'll put myself in bad situations, let them put me in chokes to try and
Yeah.
defend. And I've got that a lot from Altum, like training with him, especially as a lower belt. Like I remember he used to just let me put him in triangles, like just so he could work on getting out. You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna get like the more benefit than him just like beating me up.
Right.
You know, so just a lot of that, and then knowing when, especially in camp, like you don't have to kill everything. You need certain days and certain sparring rounds where those are competition rounds, and yes, you need to win those rounds and like play it smart and try to win and just do everything you can. Uh, but if you want to learn and have your skills get better, you gotta like almost drop the ego. You know what I mean? And just be
Right.
like, hey, it's okay. Like my girlfriend will come to the gym if I'm sparring, especially not in camp. Like I'm okay with like getting like beat up in front of her. You know what I mean? Because she knows I'm like, dude, these rounds don't matter. Like,
Yeah.
and not that I'm like getting like knocked out or anything. You know what I mean? But like, I'm okay with not like just putting. I've seen a lot of dudes, especially boxers, who like boxers. They bring their mom in, their girlfriend. Their. I've seen a lot of dudes at the gym bring in like their friends. You know what I mean? And then when they come in, they go so much harder. It's like they're trying to like show. I'm like, dude, that's like it's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that just shows like you as a person, like what you're really trying to prove. Like you have this thing inside of you where you feel like you have to prove something to other people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell my girl, I'm like, dude, I get beat up all the time. Like me and John in camp, I think I had black eyes every week from him in camp. You know what I mean? And then look how we go perform though. Like
Right.
like we make the best out of it, and there's a reason. Like and there's no ego. It's like like these rounds, like I said, they matter. Like you want to win them, and we had weeks where maybe I would win, or he would win, or he'd win a certain round, or get me in something. But at the end of the day, it's like you. I'm trying to think the word. like it matters more about like the actual competition than the training. You know, like
Yeah.
the training's just a tool for you to use in order to make it to the fight almost.
Yeah,
You know?
win and take something out of that, whether it's like the escape, like
Yeah.
Jonathan at peak, like I mean, whenever we roll together, it's like he's not
He's
getting
playing.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's playing. And
he'll let
maybe
me.
it's because I suck.
Yeah, but he's just like he's like world class, world class guy, and so it's like okay, like if he's defending or trying, oh he'll let me pass. Oh, I took his back. Okay, yeah, sure I did. But then he's working on his defense, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what he's doing so I can learn, or when he passes my guard, that works on all these other people.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Oh, he's controlling the leg, or he's pushing down on the hip on this side, and so I'm trying
Yeah.
to take something out of what he's doing.
Yeah,
What he's doing too, but
but that just shows you like that just playing around with something like and not having like a big ego about it where you're
Mhm.
just trying to win. Like, I'm sure he has rounds though. Like when he's training for a competition, he has good guys that he goes hard with.
Oh,
or
yeah.
that he's obviously he has to do that, but
yeah.
if you're actually trying to get better at something, you got to slow it down sometimes.
You know who I've had the chance, and you've probably had the chance to maybe train with, who I've never seen go light on a round, is Dorian Oliveras.
Yeah, I train with him more as a beginner. Where he doesn't come around the gym too much. He used to come by War.
Right.
I mean, I don't go by War enough, all the time. Maybe twice a week sometimes. I've trained with him before, dude. That kid's fucking. He's good. He's good. He's strong too for being a kid. Like, he's strong.
Yeah, I've had the chance. Like I filmed at Dream Art for some different things, and he's been there. And I know, I have rounds filmed with him, Jonathan Satava, and Dorian Oliveras, and Carlos Enrique, Miguel Costa, like these dudes who are, and
Yeah.
and he's good, and he's very good, but he doesn't. I don't know. I think his and his dad is a black belt as well, and
Yeah.
good, and he trains
in-
off the mat and everywhere and plans it all out. But it's like, when does he go? Like, does he go light? That's what I always
Yeah.
wondered. And he posts what he wants people to see, and it's great content. But I'm enjoying following it.
Yeah. No, that's one of them things. He's probably just ingrained in him since he was a kid. Like, he don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
His dad has told him what to do his whole life, and that probably sounds really shitty the way I said that, but like,
It's working.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
working, but like.
I would listen too. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's working, and
And I'm
let's go.
pretty smart. If they're training that hard, and especially competing at that level, I feel like they're doing the right stuff to recover and doing it. I'm sure they're doing all that right, especially to be at the level they are. If they were training too hard or not, like, you know what I mean, having those days where he's just chilling, I'm sure that he would run himself into the ground.
Yeah,
isn't the
and
case.
he's young, and I look at myself like, I'm a lot older, like twice his age at least, and I train like 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? He's training like 3 to 4 times a day,
Yeah.
like my neck or
Especially with
whatever.
the wrestling too, because he's so wrestling heavy. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember I went up to that Premier gym and just did an open mat. There was nothing else open. I think it was like a rainy day or something. And that
Right.
Ivan kid was up there that trains with us,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Yeah, come by." Everyone there was probably like 180 and above.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like 30, 25, 30 pounds on me. And I'm over, dude, I was so sore the next day because I literally went in there like wrestling heavy, like, hey, I want to work this or work that. I was so sore the next day.
Yeah,
So, and I think it's also something that you get used to though too. Like in camp, like you train twice a day most of the time, and it's like your body, like whatever. Like I'm out of camp now, so like I tell myself I'll still train twice a day, but it's like I'm hitting like a zone 2 bike ride for 45 minutes to an hour. Lighter stuff,
mm-hmm.
just to stay in shape and do my stuff. But when I'm in camp, it's like my body almost gets used to training twice a day, so it's not as sore. Like right now, I'm like super sore from training last night, whereas in camp, like still be sore. Or maybe you're just ignoring it, but yeah, I'm definitely like way more sore than I would be in camp. I feel like.
It's like I'm always sore. It's like the Hulk in the Avengers, and he's like, I'm always angry. Like what's the secret, man?
Yeah.
Hayden, as we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to share or let people know? Call out anybody?
No one wants to fight me. Which is crazy because like I feel like I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dude, I'd beat that kid's ass. And I like, shit, that's me. You know what I mean? But yeah, nah, just maybe my Instagram, Hayden Friars. It's literally it. You just type in my name. I don't have any sponsors, so sponsors would be great. I think my biggest sponsor right now is like my dad. He helps me with everything. Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I think my next fight will be May 25th, so watch out for that. I'll post on my Instagram whenever that comes out.
Awesome. Thank you, Hayden, for hanging out today. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. It's cool.
This is Guardy with Clear Life Combat.